Welcome one, welcome all to our live cast of the NUEL's inaugural Blood Bowl season finals. We have the West Street War, headed up by Losra, going up against Hogdude Scott's Mystery Inc. This is one game for the whole league. It's been quite a journey bringing us here, but it all comes down to this.
Yes, absolutely. We've seen the West Street War struggle through injuries and hardship and getting slapped in the face consistently to make it to this grand final. They're playing a standard orc sort of setup based around their star player and an elf in disguise Soyo. On the other side, we have sort of the underdog story of this top 8. Mystery Inc. barely qualifying for playoffs itself, having to play a game just to make the top 8. Managed to come through, have managed to clutch the game out against top seed OYBBL represent, playing a very strong, very potent undead side while getting a bonus turn. This could be devastating. We know how punchy the orcs like to be.
Yes.
Go.
Well, there's no better way than to start our grand finals with a blitz, of course, the most abominable of all of the kickoff results.
Yes. You see a lot of guard on both sides, just as in a general sort of sense. Lot of good advancements on the side of Mystery Inc., but a few good ones. Granted, most of the power has been taken away from the West Street War due to their injuries and deaths that they have sustained during the tournament. They're still a very powerful side to contend with.
Okay. Oh wow. My gosh! Fred Jones Sr. only just got brought in for this game and they've been immediately murdered.
For some background, Fred Jones Jr. was a zombie?
No, he was a white.
He was a white who took a minus strength.
Oh, he regenerated. It's fine.
Oh, fair play to him.
He got better.
He was a white who sustained a minus strength and so got fired, and his dad got brought in instead. And his dad very much almost died on the first... It wasn't even the first turn of the game. This is a bonus turn. It doesn't actually count. So it would have been a very short career for him if he fell there.
Yes, I think unaccounted for, but the Orcs, they've managed to impact into the undead lines very, very early on here. Now, the big difference between the two teams is, before we saw the Orcs against Orcs where it was high armor, medium strength against. Now it's sort of medium armor from the undead side, but these two mummies, they are enormous compared to anything on the Orc team.
Absolutely. Strength 5 and Strength 6 on Mummy Vankar and Mummy. Both of them do have guard, though, which means as positional pieces that want to hold these lines of scrimmages and will be very useful for cages when they start forming, they are just going to completely shred the Orc side. As you see here.
Interestingly, okay, so let's see, that's just... Oh, no, okay. I thought for a second it was someone a little bit more important, but that's just a line Orc getting stunned. Worth noting some of the skills on the mummy. So the mummy of Anchor is actually strength 6.
Yes.
So as strong as they are, that might throw off some of your calculations if you're a more experienced player, and you suddenly wonder, why are they able to get a 2-dice block in right now?
Just for comparison's sake, the strongest units on the side of the Orcs are those Black Orcs. They have strength 4, though, and most of them on this West Street War side don't actually have that many skills due to injuries and some awkward progression for them. You'll see old school Harley has block, and I believe they might have another player with guards. Is that what they're... Yes,
that's the Journeyman Guard. So they've been hired in for this game. So Losra suffered these losses to the roster, but rather than hiring in a new Black Orc and letting them develop, they found it more efficient to hire a Black Orc and give them guard than it would be to get it the traditional way.
Yeah, because at this point you don't have enough games to guarantee progression in the team. You need on-field impact, and you need it essentially right now. So the easiest way to do that is just hire a player who has the skill set you need. Good blitz here from Yabadoo will get a knockdown, and it'll buy some field presence for the Mystery Inc. side as they look to maybe bring the ball down this right flank. Or maybe even just pass the ball down the right flank.
So we'll see. So back at the field, Scrappy Doo. So, before this is all starting, Hogdude Scott, I was asking him about some of his choices coming into the files itself, and they were considering firing Scrappy Doo, their star player, just to bring their team value down, because, as you'll notice, there are wizards on both sides here. I believe... I'm trying to figure out what exactly the inducement money was spent on, because there was a lot of inducement money going around. we've got Wizard, and I actually don't know where the rest of it went to.
Well, some of it would have gone on to the the Garden Black Orc. Excuse me. I don't actually know where they'd spend the rest of it. Maybe they'd have extra players brought in. I don't know for certain.
I'll send our coach, since this is our only live game of the season. I will send Lostra a message while and they can maybe answer during not their turn. What did you get for inducements?
I will say I do not like the idea of firing Scrappy. Like on a moral standpoint, he has been an absolutely outstanding player. Like you want that player on your team. From a functional standpoint, he will run circles around this Orc team. He will outrun them. He will outdodge them. He has blodge. The Orcs can't hold a candle to him because most of them don't have skills. The only one that can really take him down is Killer Keller with Mighty Blow Tackle. He is going to be nigh unstoppable on this pitch. He is going to be your touchdown scoring machine, and you definitely want him on the pitch, even if he is worth... What's he worth currently? 150? That's value.
Yes, I mean, that's the big thing, is that with not having regeneration and not being an apothecary, the Ghoul's time is limited, but Hogdu's made good use of them. You mentioned Keller, the killer. Mighty Blow, and Tackle. They're the only player on the Orc team who's able to take a good shot at the Ghouls, and I think there's a good reason why the Ghouls are staying as far away from them as possible.
Absolutely right. So, because of the way these lines are sorted out, they've managed to at least... The Orcs have managed to maintain base-to-base contact with a lot of this undead side, so they'll be able to get a few punches in, and have a few players back as well to protect them. Try and catch Scrappy Doo as he tries to come in for this touchdown, because I think he might just try and sneak one in.
Well, I think this is what's happening here. Is I think that there's going to be an attempt to allow the undead down there. That's right. I'm not just using this because I can. I think it's an intentional thing to let the undead go down that side, and then
you're right.
And then allow the Orcs back in to score again with the remaining turns.
Yes.
Or it could be a bamboozle to get the ball into the Orc half, and then the Wizard will be deployed to get the ball back.
So you just have the ball running in, drop the Wizard on wherever the Scrappy Doo ends up, and try and recover it. And because they've only got Ghouls coming down with the ball, the Orcs should be able to outpower them and run it straight up the pitch.
At least that's a theory. I mean, you know, because we're seeing this in real time, we actually get to see how long each of the players are spending thinking about their moves. As we have had a knocked over Mummy in the center, so I'd kind of assume the undead will be able to hold the center.
Foul him! Foul him!
You don't foul him! You know what happens to people who foul, actually?
You get sent off.
The curse of Ancient Grandma was actually foiled by Hogdu Scott.
Do you remember which player got that kill? Because I don't, unfortunately. I would assume it would be Mummy of Anchor with the plus strength, but I don't know.
It's my headcanon now.
Yes.
Mummy to Mummy. That's the way the power passes. It's very similar to...
The problem is there are two mummies on the side of Mystery Inc, and they are both called Mummy.
Yes, we've got Mummy and the Mummy.
Of Anchor.
Yes. She'll bite you in the ankle.
Hey.
Okay, so oh man, it's actually really nice to do this live because it gives us a lot more time to talk about what people could potentially do. So if you run down here...
You would like to telestrate to that.
Alright, okay, let's just unnecessarily telestrate things. So if...
This is necessary telestrations this time.
So if you run down here, and you set up like a corner here, I don't like it because there's nothing stopping the... And I'm going to use a different colour for the camera. There's nothing stopping the Orcs from just coming in here, surrounding you pretty much entirely, and then you're all kinds of dead.
Yes.
So you need a different plan, I think. My question to you, Mr. Kirby, is can you think of what that plan could be? Because I sure can't.
Bait some of these WAR members to that the right flank, excuse me. And then once you've done that, cut across through the middle of the pitch, because you have the agility, you can sort of make that sort of line, yes. You have the agility, you can make those sort of aggressive sort of play stylings, where you can just dodge through a couple of Orcs pretty easily. Question is, how much does Losra commit to this right flank if he thinks it's coming down there? And does Hogdu Scott overcommit to try and bait Losra in?
So, normally we've got the Orc team with a very strong core with their Black Orcs here. And I feel like this is one of the times where I can maybe get away with it. So normally we've got kind of, the square of Orcs here, very, very strong, and it's pretty much impossible to push through them. But that's not going to be so much the case here, because the mummies with the guard, I think they easily take out that part, and I think they very slowly move the line forwards. I think if anything is going to happen here, I think it's going to be mummy-centric, and there's the blitz that will... onto the blitzer. Interesting. But it does put both mummies together, and they both got guard, so they're very hard to take down.
Yeah, the only way you can really do it is you come at them from sort of the side of that domino pairing, which is very difficult to do and can leave your midsection exposed. And as soon as you do that, here comes Scrappy Doo with agility, whatever it is. It's quite high, and he will dodge through your everything.
Alright, so there's Yabadoo breaking away. So we could be seeing... So this is another thing that's worth noting as well, is for Scooby-Doo, they have got Catch, which would seem like a strange skill, but not when you've got an Agility 4 player in the team who can throw, and also hand off to you with quite some reliability.
But he suffers the same problem that, excuse me, Scrappy Doo is facing right now, is how does he get to the deep enemy territory to actually receive a catch without getting punched in the face? Because he is weaker. Granted, he still has blodge, but he's going to be more vulnerable, because if you're playing without the ball, you're probably going to take more risk with him. That's surprising. That's just a stun, but... Yeah.
Another wrinkle we've got to put into works is this is the only game we're going to see all season where both sides have a wizard. And, the ability to just throw it down means we can never be 100% sure how any given turn is going to progress.
Thunderbolts and lightning.
Very, very lightning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, as soon as one of these players gets deep, especially if he has the ball, you can just call a Thunderstrike on him, and suddenly that ball is no longer in his hands.
Okay, this calls for a Thunderstrike cam. So call out your targets. Where's that Thunderstrike going to come from, Lostra, if it does come in?
We're just calling
the... On the ball carrier? That's right, I literally just prepared myself for that.
No, I heartily approve. See the Blitz come in here, try to knock away some of the players that are looking to make some progression into the enemy territory. I don't know, that was worth a Blitz, actually. Kelly just sort of slapped a zombie and stepped away. Like, if you get the knockdown, it might be worth, but currently all you've done is nothing. You just forced a man back, left your blitzer back in safe position, and haven't really advanced the field state that much. Granted, to be fair, I don't know if you need to advance it too much if you're on the side of the West Street War, because your default is you have control of your side of the field, and it's relative depth to the point where any diving ghoul couldn't really do it safely.
I mean, at this point, it feels like it's a lot later in the game, I think, because we're so used to the taped games where they cut out the player delay. It feels like we're on turn 4 or 5, but we're only on turn 3 coming up for the undead, so they've got time to be able to punch through with their mummies, through the center. I mean, it would take a while to do.
Also, to be fair, this is actually turn 3 from the war because they had that bonus turn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and they did get a player off the pitch with it, so definitely counts. Okay, so strong in the center. These players are all fairly weedy. I think
but they're
it might be a
still
mistake.
presence.
I'm thinking it might be a mistake for Hogdu to try and break through the orc strength rather than just going around them or trying to force away.
You have to go around them very carefully. You want to reroll that. Oh, I guess not. You just take the slapping. You have enough armor that a break is unlikely. Oh, actually, with that down in the middle of the pitch...
I think it's a blitz from the mummies here, quite likely. You were talking about trying to break through...
No, you blitz that lone lineman. You get him down, and suddenly the entire left flank is exposed, I think.
Yeah, you could go through here.
Yep. Accurate telestrating.
That's right. Old one, for the finals, I specifically went on my way to get hold of some telestrator software just to make it feel that little bit more special, because I don't think people are using telestrators in Blood Bowl coverage at all, and it seems like it would be incredibly useful.
On a slightly unrelated one, no, I want to figure out how I can do a live cast of other video games and telestrate at the same time while the camera flies about everywhere. I don't know if it's possible.
The best
Blood
thing
Bowl
to do
is perfect for it though, because it's pretty static camera.
Yeah, you've got to either use a static part of the screen, so for League of Legends that would be the minimap, or you've got to freeze frame when you do it.
Yeah.
And treat it like a replay. Like, so you just you freeze frame, pull out that part of it, and then telestrate on that part. Because I've seen them do it on the Riot broadcast for League of Legends. It doesn't work if the screen's moving around.
Yeah.
You just be like,
shaky
ah!
cam.
Thank you all. We're professional to a fault.
All right, so actually, with those skeletons moving down this right flank, it does actually open up possibility of Hogdude Scott playing both sides of the pitch, because right now they can absolutely make a blitz and knock out the left side, but they already have some player presence, even if it is only zombies and skeletons on the right. So they can go either direction here, and they're sort of forced the Orcs just hold the middle and hope for the best at this point.
Okay, this is where, now based off what we've seen, what I'm thinking is going to happen. So we have a blitz in, this player's knocked down, other players move in to assist on this, and we get a knockdown Black Orc as well. And I think everyone just moves in to form a line.
And then we swing the ball carrier around the outside.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. There we go. Clonkaroo, which is going to mark 3 players at once with 1 player, which is pretty nice.
And he has guard, which works really nicely.
And you can build up a cage here by moving... Oh wait, no, this player stood up, so it's probably going to be a cage around here-ish, I would imagine.
You have the move speed. You can go right to the edge of the pitch.
So Old One is suggesting that it's a trap, which is very possible when there's Soyo with his movement 7 around to get around and start shenanigansing. And we have got the Ghoul Killer very close to where you'd be setting up a cage with a bunch of ghouls in them.
You could do that with Soyo. I don't necessarily know if Kel can get to the ball of the cage where I think they're going to cage.
Wait, are they going to cage here?
Yes. 2 spaces to the right. I think they put the ball, in that square, I think. Or around there.
They'd have to bring in someone to replace this zombie, though, because this zombie's going to be
I don't think
down.
you replace. I think you assist. Well, you can't replace, obviously.
Ooh.
He went deeper than I thought he was. Okay.
That's accessible. Around the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easily accessible.
But no, because you can use that top ghoul, bring him down to cover that bit, and then bring the ghoul that's currently in the deep Mystery Ink field down to protect the top side of the cage then. You can cage.
This zombie's getting knocked out. Okay. Oh, wait. No. So this zombie gets knocked out, which means that...
This is risky. I will concede this setup is very risky. But if he's able to withstand this turn, it's basically a guaranteed touchdown.
I mean, it's... Oh, nice. I'm right. It definitely feels like Lostra has been trying to force an early score, as Allman's talking about. Not by the way they've been playing. Like, we were talking about from the very beginning that we're leaving a flank open to try and encourage Hogdude Scott down that flank. I mean, it seems like that bait has been taken. The mummies are now trapping 4 players at once, which is only, I guess, roughly equal in terms of value.
Yeah, the main issue here is it might be bait to score an early touchdown, but it might have baited himself because if this cage doesn't get broken, then he just gives up a touchdown.
Well, we are still very early on, so I'd imagine Hogdude is looking to... If they're going to score early, then they presumably have with the intention of getting the ball back again and scoring again. Because, as we've seen from the other playoff games, you don't want to get into overtime because you're basically just coin flipping the game at that point for the most part.
Yes. But if they score early now, who's in their dugout? It's one of their whites. They can sub out one of the ghouls for a white, or probably a skeleton for a white, or whatever you need to do. To go, okay, we're not going to score. We're just going to slap you to pieces in the remaining 4 or 5 turns we have in the half, and then in the second half, bring our ghoul back in, go for the intercept and score.
I mean, for
Because
Lothra,
guess what? The cage is held. He's used the blitz and he hasn't got to the ball carrier. I don't think they can mark him enough to actually stop him scoring.
they're not trying to stop him scoring, is what I'm reading here, though.
They
went for a blitz on the mummy rather than, as you know, we've got an open space. If that had been a follow-up there, we would have had a chance to go and blitz one of the ghouls, or indeed the ghoul at the front could have been Mighty Blow tackle blitzed. So I think Lothra is just trying to force, or trying to at least heavily encourage a score, with the threat of a Mighty Blow tackle hit on a ghoul, rather than actually doing it.
The problem is, yeah, you get the ball back with a good number of turns, but you're still orcs. You just don't score that quickly. Like, it's very easy for the undead side to just go, okay, we can play this sort of Khemri style where we just clog up the board, and you can't advance because you're orcs, even if you do have the plus agi plus move value.
Okay, so we're kind of getting to the part of the game where we're getting kind of a divide between these two halves of the pitch. You know, this over here is its own fight, and then, you know, only these players can really interact with each other, and we almost end up in a Blitz Bowl situation where the teams are literally, you know, 5 or 6 players. I think the undead can probably throw chaff in the way of a lot of these players to keep them from really seriously threatening the ball.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it doesn't have to be an immediate score for Mystery. I think they have another turn or two they can afford to drag this out safely. Because they're really going to struggle to get on top of the ball carrier.
Well, I mean, we are dealing with movement 7 players on both parts, with Soyo being the ball carrier for the Orcs. So, if Hogdude scored like immediately, and then, you know, anytime Lothra is going to go for a score with Soyo, it's not going to be by caging up the pitch, because there's just no way you get through the mummies.
Yes. But I don't know that they can play the agility style, get that quick touchdown, even if it is 3 or 4 turns, because they're still orcs. Even if you have one player that can play that style, you need a good number to give you those options that allow you to score. Because you can have one player do the run pass play, but you need a player to then receive the ball to actually score the touchdown.
Yes, I mean that is the problem of only having one elf adjacent player. Is if Soyu goes up the pitch, as you said, they won't have any support from the rest of the team, because it's still werewolf conundrum. You've got these ridiculously high movement players, but if you can't support them with your lower movement players, then all they're doing with that high movement is putting themselves into trouble.
Right, Hogdude Scott actually might have just forced himself to score here. He's left himself that there's 2 very dangerous players that are being held off by one zombie who isn't the greatest player in the world. It's a zombie, but they are very much fodder. I don't know if he can move back safely. He might just have to run forwards and go, okay, I'm scoring now. Fight me. Yeah, there it is.
That was a little surprising. Because, yeah, like, you're right, they completely... Hogdude, I presume, must have had that decision a lot earlier on in the turn.
Yes. So, like, again, I don't mind him scoring here. It's giving Mystery Inc. 4 or 5 turns to score back. I don't remember what the clock was for him. But... while the Mystery Inc. have that white in the sidelines that they can bring back on, presumably they will do so, they can substitute... Yeah, I'd send off out Scrappy-Doo for Scooby-Doo. Just keep that more valuable player off the pitch. Because I don't think that the Hogdude Scott's in a position to score back. So just play aggressive, knock out as much of the war as you can, and then play for that second half.
Alright, so let's see what the West Street War have got for us. So they've got a lot of turns to score back in. They've got 5.
They have 5 actually, yeah. That's okay, there's a decent chance they can score. It's better than odds than I thought they would have coming into this. It's still not amazing. You are putting a lot of pressure onto Soyo to absolutely just bomb this touchdown.
Yeah, that's what we said. You know, there is no guarantee you break through the undead center with those 2 truly ludicrous mummies in the way. I mean, maybe you break up a side?
Yeah, you have to go to the side. And granted, because it's this 5-star defense again, you're not going to have the mummies immediately be an issue. And they are movement 3, I believe, the mummies on the undead side. So it should be very easy to outmaneuver them. The problem is really going to be the whites. That is actually massive. No, this is massive, because now what can happen is the mummies are in blitz range. You've got some decent players in blitz range. We're going to see some heads go crack.
Oh boy, well, let's see. So
Maybe you don't blitz with the mummies. Maybe just move the mummies up and then blitz with your whites.
Well, I guess the big thing here is we could have the mummies move up to anchor the center and stop the orcs from moving forward by having guard there on to assist their pieces, while the rest of the team move in. Wait, I don't need to gesture with my mouse when I can do it. Fancy stuff. So yeah, I'm expecting the undead to end up kind of, they can't completely box in the ball, but this is one of the situations where it's not going to cause a touchback if the ball ends up in the wrong team's hands.
Do I have mouse control over Parsec right now? Do you know?
Oh, give it a try. See.
I do not, unfortunately. Okay, never mind.
I'll see if I can figure out how to do that, because
it's probably assessing.
Yeah, that should give you the chance to make your own scribbles on the screen. That's worthwhile in of itself.
That's what I was thinking. I could just do some scribbles, because what I'm thinking is they're going to flood diagonally down to the right. Just bring all those players across, because you can see exactly where their ball's landing. That's in a very contestable position. You could probably get a white under the ball if you wanted. Granted, he might not be able to catch it, but if he does, have fun taking a white down. Especially if you can bring a mummy across as well.
See if you can do it now.
Oh, it's a bit laggy, but yeah, it works. So, obviously the ball is here. You want to put a player here. So you have a white you can bring down. You can bring a few of these players to hold this line. And then you just bring the rest of the team down and across here to help immediately shore up the ball. That was not the most amazing diagram in the world, but you get the sort of idea.
Yes, well, we're still... Yeah, this is our first time. Hey, Dusky Dude and Coldzilla. Oh, I guess you must be... I don't know if you're actually... No, okay, they are friends of Hog Dudes. I wasn't sure. It's a 2-die hit, so that's going to clear up some space. This is massive for Hog Dude. I mean, as much as the previous blitz was rewarding for Lostra, this blitz, I think, could be back.
It's paying up in space, because they don't need the ball. They just need to maintain control of the ball. Oh, they got Scrappy 2 under the ball as well. Okay, he doesn't grab it.
That was really unfortunate. That was the only place that could have scattered that wasn't good for Hog Dude.
That's still not bad. The only thing that would have worked out really well for Lostra is if that one loner lineman there just grabbed a hold of the ball out of the air. But because of the way it's worked out right now...
I'm being told that the epic pair may not be lining up correct. Let's see. If I draw around the Black Orc... Oh yeah, no, it really isn't. Just a second then. Oh man, all of our fancy drawings have been for naught because I was too busy looking at the screen. And...
Okay, there are... Oh, double skulls, immediate reroll.
So there we go. I fixed it.
They have to burn a lot of time and a lot of resources, which they are very much limited on right now, to try and knock all of these players off of the ball. There's still Scrappy Doo on top of the ball. He has Lodge. He's extremely hard to get rid of. And while this is happening, you're not picking up the ball. You have to spend time bringing Sayo across to get a hold of it, and then you have to somehow punch through the 2 mummies which are right there.
Okay, so... I mean, this is incredible for Hog Dude. Again, remember, we've got wizards available for both sides because both teams threw their entire treasuries, which were about 150,000, into this game. There's nothing for these teams beyond this. Oh man, Westry Bar are already down to 1 reroll. Have they already burned?
No, they've burned a reroll in this turn already. That's just a turnover. Ooh. Granted, it's pretty late in the turn, but there's a player there next to Scrappy Doo that desperately needs to get that hit in, and he's not going to get a chance.
Well, that's a guard player down for the Orcs, so that means their center is dramatically weakened.
So this is going to be an absolute crash here for the Mr. Ink side. They can just bring all their players in.
Let's play this turn. So we send our mummy in here, which allows us to get a 2-die block sending in here, which then allows us to charge our mummy in, and we've got a space. We could probably bring the mummy in here and make a block to chain push away. And
that doesn't quite work out, but yes. It would go... You could get the first chain push, but you couldn't get the second, but that still gives you decent presence over the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yes, ideally you'd be going like bump, bump, bump off the pitch. But no, unfortunately not quite that good.
It's the first hit and then down, unfortunately. They still have amazing presence on the pitch right now. Again, they don't need the ball. They just need to stop the War from getting the ball. And they are able to do so with some solid presence here. And again, if they get a hold of the ball, it's Scrappy Doo. He's agility 4. He can just run it home.
Okay, so the first part of the master plan has succeeded. Bar 1, the Black Orc has been knocked over. So the Mummy's Guard is now in the place it needs to be most. We've got the next part of the plan does revolve around using some skeletons and zombies. But they're up to the task. So that's a knockdown as well. The Orcs are getting cut in half here along this line. And I think, actually, I might even see if Rakram gets... I think maybe Rakram could be... No, of course. It can only be a blitz into Keller. Because
you need to move the zombie above the skeleton. I don't know who that is. That one. You need to move Elmer somewhere else so you can use that square to move
that's right, yes. There. There we go.
Yes.
Okay, so if you get the... there we go. So if you go in here, end up here, and actually hit this player here, I think that's going to be a lot harder to remove, because you can then start moving other players who have the assist from the guard. Let's see what they go for.
You also probably want to wake up your white. He's just sort of currently sleeping.
Okay. There we go. Donk.
Yes, so now you wake up with a white. You use Scrappy Doo to hit the... Who is that? Killer Keller.
Yes.
And then you have not possession of the ball, but you basically have possession of the ball. And it'll take the Orc team a good while to punch themselves out of that one. And again, you're just playing for time here.
Hey, GSPS Monkey. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hog Dude definitely getting a lot of love from the chat. Evidently let some folks know that they were playing in this big all-important event. This is the NUEL's first ever Blood Bowl tournament. We are in the grand finals. It is best of 1. So this means this game decides it all, and it's looking like I think we might be getting into Wizard territory here, because this is really bad for Lostra, and they need to change.
I don't think it's worth a Wizard for Lostra is the thing. You really... Because again, you're receiving in the second half, right? This half is a wash for you. But the second half is more... You have a better chance of actually scoring. If you can score here, and I really doubt he can, fair enough. But playing for the second half feels like a more reliable option.
So, Alban asking what the NUEL is. So it's a national network of UK university teams brought together to play various different esports against each other. They've been around for a very long time. You can find out on thenuel.com a lot more detail, but in this case, everybody playing in the competition is a UK university student. So this is... I don't know if there's been any other university level Blood Bowl tournaments. I certainly couldn't find anything about any of them ever.
I would highly doubt it.
Yeah, so we're hoping that this will be a multi-time thing, but at least for now, this is the final game of a 7-week Swiss and then a top 8 cut. JSPS Monkey, as I said, this is, it's looking incredible for Hogdo Scott here.
Oh, he could have knocked... I'm thinking how risky he wanted to play that, because he could have absolutely knocked that player on top of the ball, bounced it, and potentially have it land in one of their players' hands, but that's pretty risky.
I wouldn't like that though, just because you've then got a 50-50... Well, no, you've got a 1 in 3 chance it goes somewhere bad, which is further away from your...
Fair, even the bad results aren't that great. The worst thing that could happen is it could fail to be picked up by the mummy and then bounce somewhere deep into enemy territory. But any of the empty spaces are still pretty good for the Mystery Inc. side. But this is definitely a safer option where you leave the ball down in the middle of 3 players. This is fine. So
if we put a fireball here, we'd hit 5 undead players and only 1 orc. That's pretty good odds.
It's Keller, you don't do that.
Yeah, but Keller's invulnerable, so it's fine. Okay, I mean, this isn't... So, yeah, I think from the orc side of things, I would be much more inclined to start going for things like trying to... Well, it's a classic conundrum. If you're ahead, you want to try and minimize the randomness as much as possible, because you want the situation to stay as much like it is right now for as long as possible, which in Hogdo Scott is dramatically in their advantage.
Yes.
If you're the orcs, having the ball go randomly, it's not going to end up being much worse than it is right now if it goes to them, but it might go really well and go back to you.
But the problem is, is that, yes, I've been saying that the Mystery Inc. side just need to play for time here. They still have Scrappy Doo next to the ball. If he gets a hold of that, there's a good chance he just scores another touchdown, and I definitely don't think the Orcs can score 2 touchdowns in one half.
Okay, here's my prediction. Donk. Donk. Donk.
And then...
You get 2 tackle zones on the ball.
And then do something like, well, thanks, camera.
Okay, well, turns out we were wrong anyway, so forget all that, because it's... Why on earth is it a blitz over there, of all places? Oh, because they wanted to free up... Oh, hello.
Because they free up Soyo to play the backfield position so they could do a similar thing next turn. Okay. They currently have a couple of dots errant on the screen.
Oh no, we've got the Blood Bowl measles.
Hey.
There we go. Oops.
Oh,
yes. Never click back on the Blood Bowl
camera.
game with your middle mouse because it will do that.
Okay. So we now have a jaunty camera angle for the rest of the game.
Ah, jaunty. Alright, we're back to Mystery Inc. I think at this point they're looking to see if they're going to use their wizard. Doesn't seem terrifically likely.
They aren't using the wizard either because they have control of the ball. They do not need the field position to change drastically. They are just playing for time here. They might be able to do something with a lightning and score a touchdown, but it's not... Oh, actually, because if they lightning the loner player there's a good chance they can score a touchdown this turn. I don't know the movement allowance from that position.
I don't think they need to lightning. I don't think they need to lightning them. I think you just whack them.
No, you're right. If that whack goes their way, and there's a good chance it does because it's a strength 6 mummy, but if they get that, could you just zoom out a little bit and pan down?
Enhance.
I said pan, not tilt.
I don't even know where you wanted to go, to be honest.
I just wanted to see how many spaces it was from edge to edge on the pitch. The ball to the touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, he's not in touchdown range. But he's close. He could definitely get a hold of the ball, at least.
Alright, so that clears the only tackle zone off the ball, and also gets a kill for your troubles! Alright, it's only a line orc, but that's still one less body on the pitch, and actually that's going to be one more zombie in the tank! Uh-oh. It might be time to throw up your pog dudes in chat, because it seems like this house of cards is coming down around Lostra's ears. Things just keep getting worse.
Oh my lord. Like, this is what I was worried about, and it's gone even worse than I thought it was going to go for Lostra.
Yes, Coldzilla, if you're a Hog Dude fan, you love to see it. So we've got to see the ball getting picked up at this point. Yeah, we've got a reroll. We've got an AG4 player. No, we don't even need the reroll. We've got sure hands and AG4. That's the best possible chance of picking.
Like he picks it up and steps back to the space he's on, maybe another step back, just to make sure he's out of range. And there's not. Okay, yeah, he goes back to the space he's on, and then the Orcs can't do anything because they have to deal with this guard strength 6 mummy.
The only fly in the ointment here is Keller. Keller is the player who's capable of doing something.
They still had their blitz. Mr. Ink still had their blitz this turn. They can bring the white that's currently covered by Bronco's face across and just blitz him.
I think that's what I'm doing if I'm Hogdo Scott, is I'm trying to find...
you just block him with the mummy that's right there. What am I talking about? Thwap. He's KO'd.
There we go.
Fantastic. That problem has been removed.
There we go. We're all about problem solving here on the unofficial NUEL broadcast.
Mr. Ink have 2.5 turns left. They can absolutely score. They can bring this to a 2 at the half. This could be devastating for the West Street War. West Street War trying to play for a quick 1-1 score at the half, but it's gone horrifically wrong for them.
A sub. I'm just going to do a quick
update
on the. Let's see. So Keller, that is 150 team value, which is. Was he badly hurt?
That's Soyo. You've ticked off Soyo there.
I have. Okay.
It was just a KO though.
Okay. And one of the... Okay, you already done that, so we're down to 10 to 60 for the Orcs, and I'll be up to date on the...
They're missing a zombie, technically.
Alright. Well, we're not worried about the team values. It gets a little bit confusing when it comes to...
To be fair, that zombie... I don't think that zombie sees the pitch at any point. If he does, the Mystery Inc. have bled a lot of players. Now it's just a question of... where does the ball go? And it will stay in relative safety, out of scoring range, but Mr. Ink absolutely have the potential to score a 2-turn touchdown from there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the previous game that it was pretty much GG after a certain point. At this point here, I mean, we're gonna. So
okay, it's not GG. It's GG if Scrappy Doo manages to score. It's still very much an even game if Lost was able to stop this from happening. Because again, he's only going to be 1-0 down coming into his half where he receives. He can still score in 8 turns.
Let's see. So what are the tools at Oh dear. Okay, so the tool at Losra's disposal is Soyo. Which is apt, considering that Soyo has been the primary tool at Losra's disposal.
He can get to the ball carrier, actually. Can you switch to Telestrator mode?
Oh, yeah. Where are we? Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go.
Alright. So what you do is I tab into Parsec so I can actually use the... This is me. Alright.
Hello.
What you do is you make this block, and then you can bring Soyo up across here, maybe make one dodge there, and then you have access to the ball carrier.
Yeah, it's worth a go.
And that is probably your best bet at stopping the touchdown from happening. Because at that point, like, the only alternatives, you leave Soyo where he is, and let's try and just zone off Scrappy Doo by merit of just having a player that can blitz him if he moves forwards. But if you want to actively stop the play, that is your best lot bet. And if you don't get the knockdown, I don't think he can go for that line, actually. So he might just leave Soyo where he is.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, I suppose what you can do is you can get up your blitzer from the ground and then go around this way. Oh, I don't know if that was even...
Also, he's used the blitz. He can't get to the ball.
Blitz already. Okay.
The entire line of play does not work. Mr. Ink will take the turn back, and they might... Wait a second. Hold on. Can I have the Telestrator back again?
Oh, boy.
Because what I'm thinking is... As soon as I see the...
Okay.
Block... Player to here. Ball carrier to here. And then skeletons may... I don't know how far the skeletons can move, but something like this.
We have to keep the number of lines limited on the
scribbles
Telestrator.
are kind of awkward because I'm on a slight input delay, which messes with me, but you get the idea, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different. Well, I suppose, yeah, the worst case scenario here for Hog Doo Scott is if they do send the ball pretty far forward, then, yeah, they lose control of the ball. But there's no real chance of the Yorks scoring with it anyway.
Yes,
if they get the second score, they've more or less won outside of some particularly crazy circumstances.
We see the return of the Elf Orcs we saw from... Which Orc team was it that did the real Elf shenanigans? Oh, bum. I'll get back to you on that one. Either way, my plan has started to come to fruition.
Okay, so we've opened up a little bit of space there, but there's still Blue in the way, who's undoubtedly... Well, let's see. So we could either have Yabadoo come round and just place his assist there.
Actually, yeah, you could go for that. Forward. I'm more inclined... Actually, no, if you do that, and you don't move Scrappy Doo that far forward, he only needs to move like 2 or 3 spaces to be in touchdown range, right? So you get the double block onto... I don't know which player that is. Number 6, Blue. You step Scrappy Doo a few spaces forwards, but still leave him in safety. Soyo can't get to him. He's forced to make a really stupid blitz to try and save the game. And from there, you probably get the touchdown. Or you could do this. This works well.
Okay, so we've got the Mummy of anchoring the left-hand side of the cage. Presumably Yabadoo is going to go stand in front of Blue, while Scrappy Doo advances probably standing next to the Mummy for maximum security.
I don't know if he stepped there. I think you are kind of priced into going a bit further down pitch. I think he stands between that white and Yabadoo, or whichever Doo that was.
Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
so that's the place.
Easily in scoring range. It's just a
That's the
question
place
of how
you can
much...
go to if you don't want to go for going for it. You do leave yourself with the potential of still
No, you
getting
don't.
hit.
You still have like amazing blocks across the pitch. Because the mummy has guards, you can't really like man-to-man that. So no matter where Soyo gets to, and I think it is Soyo that's going to have to make that blitz unless some real shenanigans come out.
Well, let's see. So if it goes well for the Orcs, they get a knockdown here,
Oh, they can do that.
and then they get this blitzer. They get a knockdown.
Whoop.
Never mind. So they get this blitzer moves down, and I think there we go. That's cancelled that potential play. So Hogdu's seen that one coming and has moved to preempt it. So the only other person who's free is the Black Orc, who can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the going for it. That's still possible to get a hit in.
That's... Wait. Count that out again?
1, 2,
2.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that does
Assuming
work,
this-
okay. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what... I must have accidentally turned off the... Oh, okay, never mind.
They're just trying to get in front of the ball carrier. I think that's the only thing they can...
Yes.
But the
That's
problem
why
is,
it's a
because
blitz.
that was a push and not a knockdown, you can blitz with the white onto Soyo and knock him away diagonally down to the right, and then the space is open and you score a touchdown. I think with that play, Losra might have just conceded a touchdown, which is a shame because he's played some amazing field presence the entire of last game. But oh no, he's just going to Thunderstrike. I think he realizes he's made a mistake and just needs to salvage.
Alright, Scrappy Doo heading for the scrap heap. Only KO'd, but that's going to take him out for the all-important drive.
Oh,
Oop.
sorry, I tried to tap out and it didn't let me. So yeah, he is KO'd. That's actually a decent chunk of team value wiped off. The touchdown can still come through from the other ghoul that's there. They get the blitz with the white onto the orc next to the ball, and then make one dodge with the ghoul, and that's a touchdown. Some excellent camera work here. Mind the field post.
Donk. Oh. That's what you get with crane shots, which are...
No, he's just going for a surf play. No,
I mean,
you can
I can't really blame them.
need the I mean, I don't know actually.
You've got one reroll left at this point, so I think any dice you take which aren't disastrous are probably ones you're going for.
No, I feel
The
like.
only way you
Oh wait, no, you can just do this.
Yeah, the only way you score here is if you knock this player away.
Yeah,
which
I was
you do,
gonna
and then run in with the white.
do that with the white and then use the ghoul that is now on the floor to actually score the touchdown. But he's going to score with the white instead, I think. I think he knocked back the wrong way.
That does seem like that's just adding an extra square of movement. I don't know if it's going to matter. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's added the going for it where they didn't need to be going for it before. But I mean, okay, sure. That's 2-0 to Hogdude Scott. Dusky Dude hated to see it, but the ending result is one that the Hogdude crowd were excited to pog for. So I guess we're really just looking for some pretty insane kickoff results to save things for Losra.
So you don't need to click the results. We've seen orcs do some very silly things in this league with some passing plays. It is very much possible for Losra to score 2 touchdowns in this one half. However, having said that, it is really not likely. The odds are very much stacked against him in this position. He's going to have a turn of punching to try and put a small dent in this undead front line. But I don't know how much he's going to be able to pull off here. Granted, he has removed Scrappy Doo, which is very much a threat at removing the ball from his control, but he's not that's not a play you particularly care about being removed when you need to score 2 touchdowns. You need to take out some of these more important pieces, like these whites, like these mummies, and I don't know if you're going to be able to do that this time.
So, best case scenario here for Losra is a riot to give them an extra turn to score with, and they just...
I don't know if he scores in 2 turns. I don't think a riot is what he wants. No, he wants a riot, but not so he can score, so he can punch. Because right now he needs to get some man advantage on the pitch. That is his best way of guaranteeing 2 touchdowns. Because I don't think he has the movement allowance to score in 2 turns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, as long as it doesn't get intercepted.
I mean, okay, he can, but the odds of the kick going that well for him are astronomically low.
Yeah, it's mainly relying on. Let's see. So we're currently with nice weather. We'll see if we get anything weird. Do we? Perfect defense. Oh, that's probably the opposite of what they're hoping for.
So what they do is they get as many players out of initial contact as possible, and they send every single player back. You say, okay, the ball is going all the way back there. We have no chance of getting counter blocks in. We're just going to put all our players in the back line. You're not getting access to them. Thank you, sir. We are going to our second half.
Excuse me. Yeah, so another chance for Scrappy Dude to come back in as check back in. So we've got Keller KO'd out at the moment, so we've got 2 big players, one from each squad on the KO bench. I can easily see the fate of the remainder of the game turning on how those KO rolls go, as the ball, you hate to see it, does not go directly into the hands of our friend Sayo. Fortunately, with this being the finals, you don't have to worry about SPP farming anymore.
Hey, just go for those raw punches. Alright, do we see the foul? That's my question. That was not optimal.
If we see...
What?
Okay.
Okay, ignore me. He should have come in from the left square and pushed towards the centre so he could got more blocks on that skeleton. Small detail, I know, but...
There's no way you foul a player here if you...
Because it's only skeletons, isn't it? Skeletons and zombies.
The zombies are worth less than any of your players.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there's a decent chance of this foul succeeding, but I do not like it. If you're going to trade a zombie for a...
It's a lone alignment that did the foul.
Okay.
Shout out to the Svensters, by the way.
Yes, I'm glad that they're still with us in spirit. Literally.
Hey.
I don't know. I don't know what the... I don't think the Warhammer laws ever really explored the idea of what undead actually are. Or maybe I'm just ignorant on that subject. Alright, so it looks like none of the important players came back, but we did get one of the zombies back. And that's good news?
So... Okay, Scrappy Dude does not matter for this. You really need Keller back on the pitch, just as that amazing knockdown player, because you need to work with as much space as you can as quickly as you can. What's going to happen here is one of 2 things. Either the War are going to get a reasonable kickoff and a good blitz onto one of these flanks, whichever side Soyo is, power through, get a 3, maybe 4 turn touchdown, and try and rip the ball out of the hands of the Mystery Inc. on their kickoff. What's probably more likely to happen is the alternative, where the cage just gets gummed up by all these undead. They're not able to advance the ball quickly enough. Maybe... which side's Zergor for?
Probably the Orcs. Yep.
Yep. That's... You hate to see it. He's knocked out. That is actually massive.
Oh man, talk about kicking a player, or rather a coach I suppose, while they're down. As also the kick goes very, very well for Hogdude Scott. The vengeance of the Orcs will of course be swift and terrible as... Oh no, Demon Kiss! You got KO'd once! It turns out you were just waiting to die. Oh no, it's okay. He faked us out.
He's off the pitch, right? You take that.
Yeah.
Now you have a little bit of space to work with Iviloir. You need to get this touchdown in as quickly as possible. Oh lord, I just remembered something. You remember towards the end of that first half where Moss realised his positioning was kind of awkward and had to use the Thunderbolt?
Yeah.
You know who still has a wizard? I thought he had a wizard.
No, it looks like it's gone. Looks like both teams' wizards are gone. I don't remember, though maybe one of you guys in the chat does, when Hogdude used their wizard, but I don't know if we just... There's no reason why it would be gone otherwise.
Did he have wizard in the first place, or am I mixing my games
up?
No,
they both have wizards.
Okay.
Yeah. Monkey, I've got no clue either. I do not remember that happening, but it's definitely not there anymore.
Well, he should have a wizard, and I'm going to pretend like he does, because...
That's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's a bug. I think we should probably proceed as if they do have the wizard, and just vaguely...
in the world where they do have the wizard, you might steal the first touchdown. Good luck scoring the second, because at some point you're going to have to deal with a meteor or a thunderbolt.
I know why. I've got a pretty good guess, at least, why this is bugged. Because once the wizard is... In most games, there's only one wizard. So I imagine it's coded as, once the wizard is used, hide that piece of UI. But because in this case there's two wizards, which nearly never happens, they didn't catch that behavior of hiding the wizard UI would cause the other player's wizard to be hidden.
Does Hogdude Scott see his wizard? That's the important thing, because fair enough if we don't see it, but as long as he does it, it's fine.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can always ask...
We'll hope for the best.
We'll find out if we get a lightning bolt. Like, at some point we're going to get a lightning bolt in.
But you just remember, the threat of that is going to have to be hovering over Lostra, because at some point your ball carrier's just getting sniped.
Oh, Lichmaster says it's a known bug. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm assuming my reasoning is sound there. That's why it's happened that way. But it's fine. I mean, at this point, for Hogdude, I could even see them ending out the finals having not used their wizard just because it's their escape valve. If they throw it away on something relatively frivolous here... like,
oh, no, I agree. Like, it's only coming down if Lostra manages to score and he looks like he's going to score a second time. And at that point, that's when you throw a lightning bolt and say, no, you do not get to do this. I am calling you a 2-1, even if we get to that point, which I somehow doubt still.
I'm so glad, like, as much as this is a very tough situation for Lostra, I'm so glad we don't seem to be heading for a penalty shootout situation to end out our first NUEL season, because that would be appalling.
It's a shame that the game is probably going to end as a bit of a whitewash, but I'm glad it at least ends conclusively, you know?
Okay, so...
At least, I'm assuming it ends conclusively, because again, there's still Blood Bowl, there's still some room for nonsense to occur. Like, even if the lightning bolt comes down on the second touchdown, there's still a chance that another orc decides he too would like to become an elf for the day and just scores a miracle play. But it's looking unlikely. They're going to go for the handoff immediately onto Soyo. That's not Soyo. That's blue.
Not Soyo at all. That's
you know,
weird.
The entire league, I've been hyping up this Agility 4 Movement 7 Blitzer. Don't care. Just tell it off to this rando.
That does seem... Okay, I think what it is that Sayo is going to be receiving the ball, but but Lostra doesn't want to put the ball on them right now.
Oh, he has block. That's why he's doing it like this. It's so the player with block can stand in front of the cage and be more of a threat in the cage. Like, fair enough, Sayo's been the ball carrier, but sometimes you just need skills and you need them on the front line. You need them now. This does work in that aspect.
Alright, so a successful dodge. I mean... Lostra is a player backed into a corner right now, so there's literally nothing they're not going to be willing to consider as a chance to salvage the game. They know they have to score immediately, and they know that they somehow need to get the ball back again and score again. That's just the
mission.
Yeah. I mean, losing control of the ball obviously ends you in a situation where you can't possibly win, but trying to find the balance of desperation is... Oh boy. Okay. That's pretty big. Now the mummy's been knocked over, and with the Black Orc moving in, this actually does cut the mummies off from the important part of the action. They won't be able to get up and really change anything before the score happens.
That's true. The question is, can Hogdude Scott stop this? They don't have great position on the field, admittedly. They can probably get that ghoul in if they really wanted to. If they make a block on that lone alignment, they can get someone in. It's just not a great block if they do that. Actually, no, they have marking.
Let's do some more drawings. So, this player... Oh, done it.
The camera has betrayed you.
This player's going here. And then we've got a straight hit on the ball carrier from either a ghoul or from a zombie.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, you need a few more assisting folks in there, but...
Yeah.
This is not a player with block or dodge, so...
Yeah, the player with the block or dodge has been elected to try and hold the cage, and fair play to Lostra. That's probably the best way of maintaining possession of the ball, but it does mean if this cage falls to pieces, it's going to go very wrong. Actually, with that chain push, does that change the play massively? Because they can wake up that skeleton in a pretty decent position.
Let's see. So this player needs to go down. They didn't go down, but they can get a hit again by the if they're pushed one space upwards. But if they're pushed over here, if they're pushed there, that would tend to indicate. Oh,
I think they're just trying to shut him out. I think they're just going, okay, maybe we can't get to the ball carrier this turn, but we can definitely delay this touchdown, and that's probably just as good at this point.
If you get knocked down on this player, you can follow up with the ghoul and then get a 2 dice on Soyo. And then you've, with the mummies having stood up, you've kind of cut off this part of the pitch. Oops, excuse me. Oh, that's right. It's because when I change tools, it's Control Shift. That's right. Oh, there we go.
Using the skills you have on your more advanced players to full fruition. We're just going to keep switching between skill sets, I see.
So we could have a zombie come in here for a 2 red dice block, which is not amazing, but I guess it's the only option you've really got at this point.
No, you just hit Soyo. He has block, but it's a 1 dice. It's
you can push him back
fine.
into the team.
Yeah.
Push back into the team and stay there. Yeah. I think that's pretty good.
So Soyo's in scoring range, I think. But he's going to very much struggle to get the ball. What I'm thinking is, this is completely risky and probably not going to work. Soyo blitzes, steps forward, hits that skeleton out of the way, maybe he gets knocked down, maybe he doesn't, rushes to the end zone. The ball carrier moves up as far as he can and makes the pass. That's my miracle touchdown play.
Well, let's see. So we've got the Black Orc who can clear out this zombie here, or at least push them away.
Yeah.
So now this is a 2 die. No, it's not.
No, you don't do that. You never make that block.
You could dodge away here.
No, what I'm thinking is he dodges Telestrator.
Let's see.
Buttons.
Oh, that's because I accidentally put it to sleep. That's why it's not working.
Aha.
Yeah. Ah,
right. I hope the camera stays. I need to actually. Oh, there we go. He does steps forward, makes this block, gets a shove this way. He then runs up the pitch. I think he can make it to here. Haven't counted it out, so I don't know. But then you opened up the lane where this player can move forward and make the pass down the pitch. Never mind, he's just giving the ball to Soyo now, and he's probably going to do nothing because he's been tripped.
So he could have dodged into no tackle zones. Instead, he
I think he's just doing what I said he was going to do, but they did the pass before.
Broadly. Okay, wait, so it's going to be another dodge. Oh boy. Okay.
No, they just did exactly what I said, just with a different ordering. That's fair enough.
Alright, so there we go. West Street, while they've got 1 touchdown, they are in, it's within the realms of possibility that we do end up going to overtime. I think if you're a Hog Dude fan, you're starting to maybe sweat a little bit. It seemed like it was a done deal, but maybe not anymore.
I'm sweating and I'm here. Now, there's still a wizard, supposedly.
Whoa.
There's still a chance for it all to go horrifically wrong, but Soyo has Lostra has at least done the first part of the impossible task. Now it's just a question of, can you play through this wizard? And oh no, because Mr. Ink's also receiving. This is the real challenge now. You scored in 3 turns, which is phenomenal, by the way. Can you make it count in this clutch moment? This is the Blood Bowl puzzle.
Okay, so let's have a look at the dugouts once we see what the kickoff result is, of course. What's it going to be? Quick snap. Mr. Ink. Good one for them. So we'll let them do that while we check in. So, yeah, the KO results were pretty terrible. Keller stayed out. And Ogor also stayed out as well. There's, of course, Badlaw will be staying out forever.
No, he's on the other side of the pitch. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's true. Wait, did Badlaw get brought in?
I don't... look at the...
No, they didn't.
Bring him in, you coward! Bring him in! Someone get on his Discord right now! And I'm just... No.
Well, you guys know Hog do. When it's not their turn anymore, you'd absolutely need to tell them what the next kickoff is.
I don't know if he gets an opportunity to be brought on. But it would have been so good. Because, there are equivalent units on the pitch. We don't care about SPP at this point in the league.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It would have just been funny. So we'll see the initial slaps coming through here for Mystery Inc. They're just looking to put as much damage in and hold the Orcs back as long as they can.
Oh,
That's
damn.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Alright, so that's a badly hurt. There's no regen for the Orcs.
Do you have an Apothecary? Okay, he doesn't use it.
The Apothecary is still there. I wonder if there was a... No, okay. The Mystery Inc. stuff is actually completely locked now. I can't even look at it.
Nice.
But, yeah, the Apothecary is still there. I don't think you're right in that we're in the situation where the Apothecary is going to be used again to keep players on the pitch, but I just don't think it's that player.
That's fair.
So, something we haven't seen so far this game, which I think we were both really expecting to, was, to see the ghouls really kind of actively pursued and dealt with. Whereas, I mean, I know there's no tackle this time for this team rather than Dead Ends, which did have mighty blow and tackle, but the ghouls haven't really been threatened overly much.
The problem is the position player that is going to do that is currently knocked out. Like, you have this mighty blow tackle player that's supposed to be the one who's hunting these ghouls down for all their life. Doesn't seem that he's been able to do so, and you don't really have the skills to be able to deal with blodge players on the side of the West Street War. So they don't have anyone who can deal with ghouls, so they've chosen really not to.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different. This is something we've been sort of discovering as we've been seeing more and more of these teams, just how, you expect the ghouls as the agility player to have strength 3 and therefore at least allow you the opportunity for a 2-dice block. Whereas with them being actually strength 3, as we see here, able to make blitzes themselves, and also, when you make a 1-dice block against a blodge player, your chances of succeeding just are not even worth talking about.
The advancements on these ghouls have been so critical for this undead side to really progress as well as they have done. I'm just actually seeing he's going to bring the ball. Okay, what I was low-key thinking is they have the lead. They could. I'm not saying this is a good play. They could just put the ball in the top corner of the pitch and go, "You're not getting this ball for 5 turns. I'm going to sit here and you're not going to touch me." They're going to bring the ball forward and try to maybe score back.
I think that would be a good idea. This is one of the very few circumstances under which you can really lead Losra around by the nose, because Losra has to get the ball. And they're playing a slow team. So if you keep the ball back, then they're forced to spread out their team, which is the worst case scenario for the Orcs, because they're not only weaker than the mummies, but without their grouping up, they don't really function that well anyway. I think
there's merits to both. Because if Hugdude Scott is able to score, there's a decent chance he does. The game is a complete blowout. If he's able to score it, draw it out, maybe he does get the 2-1, but there's also a chance that someone on the West Street Wall gets a lucky blitz in, you give up the ball, you give up your lead. It could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely do open up that possibility, no matter how remote it might be, that something goes particularly badly. We do have a hit onto Shaggy Rogers. It's just a push, but it does allow an Orc player through the undead line and within sight of the ball carrier. Of course, that ball carrier is Scrappy Doo, probably the biggest star out of the entirety of the NUEL's first season. I think maybe...
Soyo.
Well, Soyo is only level 3.
Alright, in terms of individual player progression, Scrappy Doo has him beat. In terms of actual impact in the way a team has functioned throughout the league, Soyo. Because he has allowed these Orcs to just completely play on a different level to every single other Orc team in the league and outclass most of the brawly teams. The undead side don't need Scrappy Doo to really excel. They still have other ghouls they can play through, but Scrappy Doo is definitely the best ghoul on the team.
Okay, so Kirby, I feel like you're missing one crucial factor here, which you haven't considered, which is if we're talking about who's the cutest Batu between Soyo and Scrappy Doo, I mean, I think the answer is obvious. Wait, what? That's
greedy.
Weird.
That's greedy.
That's one successful fireball. That doesn't seem like a good idea. That was your insurance policy that you just chucked away.
So, if that works, then you have 4 Orcs down in the middle of the pitch, you have complete control of the field, you can just run Scrappy Doo right down the middle and score a touchdown, and the game is just a blowout. I could see what he was going for. unfortunately, the dice don't go his way. It's sort of knock down players, but you don't care about players too much. And it's just sort of left the other orcs in the middle of the pitch, able to at least stand upright and maybe get slapped in the face a bit. But if that goes the way of Mr. Ink, they can just blow the game out.
Yes, we're saying that Hogdoo's pals. We need to come up with a. I guess Hogdoo's pals. We need you to come up with a group name, like the Hoggers or something. Yeah, I need a way to refer to you because you guys have been great in the chat and definitely showing up quite a lot of WTFs about that fireball because that was a little eye-opening.
It was a play. Like I could see what he was going for, but that was so risky. Because now, if this collapses, then you no longer have a lightning bolt that can snipe Soyo. Because I assume it's going to be Soyo that's getting the ball and is going to be trying to salvage this game.
Let's see. Let's play a new round of Find the Ways. I need to think of a more snappy title. Let's play Hunt the Soyo. So where can you go, yo? You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do it.
Not even that bad. You have a block on. Am I still on Telestrator if I tab in?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because you have a block here. The camera just janked. Oh, never mind. Also, the ball carrier can just move.
All right. Well, that'll change things a little bit.
He has gotten closer, but he's also been able to. He's probably going to get formed up around.
Yes, we've still got. I don't know if Scooby-Doo's actually got the movement left. Okay. You've got to go for it. You've got to go for it.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You try and optimize it as best you can, but you need to make some kind of stupid play like that to be able to salvage this game.
So you're dodging into this space, because if you dodge into here, you're dodging into 3 tackle zones, and here you're dodging into 2. If you get the knockdown here, so you kind of open up this space a little bit, and then you avoid the guard. You're still taking a 2 red dice block. But
it's 2 red dice.
This guy can go around. 2, 3, 4.
He doesn't have the MA.
Oh, never mind. Is there any way you can negate that assist? I don't think so. I think you just have to go for the 2 red dice and hope you get double 6s.
Yes. That's the thing. I think you might not be able to do it this turn just because of that positioning. You might be able to get if you can get a player into base contact with that with a ghoul, you might be able to do it, but it's still extremely risky.
Okay. Was this guy stood up this turn?
No, he's white circle. He's still active this turn. If you're thinking he can make a block onto a ghoul, a mummy, excuse me, fair enough, but remember they have guard. That's extremely risky. Well, here we go. Sack the ball carrier.
Yep, it worked. It worked.
No, it's a push. It
could have been a lot worse.
It could be a block actually, or a both down.
Yeah, it's gonna go because this allows for a hit back, so it's better. Okay, all credit to Lostra. They took their shot. It didn't work out ultimately, but they didn't fail the dodge, and they did get a hit, which also wasn't bad. So on the scale of horrible to amazing, that was actually fairly far up.
But now Soyo is going to have to take a dirt nap because somehow he doesn't have dodge.
You can't have everything. You can't be an elf. I suppose to be fair, the movement and the agility is the things that make him an elf.
Yeah.
I think if we had a longer league, see at this point he's actually at 33 of 31. If we had another game, because there was some discussion of doing this as a 2-header, then Soyo would have leveled up again. But sadly, this time it's only the best of 1. This is the entirety of the thing, and a lot of that thing involves clobbering orcs.
Oh, another stun. There's still a good wake up blitz here for Soyo, right? Like he's in 2 tackle dice still, but it's not going to go too bad for him because he has block. He might not get a knockout, but you can at least try for the knockout.
I would be tempted, just because it's so unlikely to get a knock someone over who's got blodge with that. I'd be tempted to dodge here and go for the 1 dice. Just because
that makes yeah.
Because I don't know if anyone can work out what the odds on that are, but you'd either have to roll a double 6 on here, which is 1 in 36. Basically, anything you do which is different than that is going to have better odds.
Yeah.
Because there's no assist coming through. I mean, all Hog Dude has to do at this point is run the ball away and they've won. But I feel like Hog Dude is determined in some way to give us some kind of show at the end of the season rather than just winning.
You know what? I respect that, but at the same time, well, this is gonna certainly help as they knock a few players around. Ooh, hello, actually, with that mummy.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, is the gap opened enough for the miracle play for Soyo? Because that's now only a 1 dice block. That White doesn't have guard.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
Oh, they can just move Scrappy Doo though. Like what am I saying? He's still got his turn. He can move wherever he so pleases.
I don't think there's a world in which Scrappy Doo stays here. So I mean, the mummies still actually.
He can just run up the pitch if he wanted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That is the best option I can see, is just to remove any possibility of losing. But I don't think that's what Hoggy's going to go for. Nope. They are in the middle of 2 guard mummies, so they're relatively safe.
And also in scoring range. I'm fairly sure that's 9 away from the end zone. Wait,
let's count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they have
count.
Well, they've got 1 more turn to get up there, but they've got
I have plenty of time to get up there.
So 2-turn touchdown from here.
Yeah. And this should be fairly safe for them. It's like, this is going to have to be some very good odds for Losser to bring this one back, but it's still not quite out of reach yet somehow.
Okay, you dodge in, you knock over Scrappy Doo with a double 6, you dodge away Soyo up the pitch, you pass up the pitch, you catch it. Everyone praises your name as the best Blood Bowl coach in the entire world ever. And then you win.
You go to overtime and have to do it again.
I mean, you know,
that's just a reminder. That's what Losser is playing for here. Currently, he's down. If he manages to score his touchdown, he then has to do it again.
Well, you gotta try it, don't you? Like,
yeah.
Standard play is just not gonna cut it anymore.
And, standard play be damned. 17% dodge.
It's not terrible.
No, that is literally the worst. That is a 6 you have to roll to make that dodge. That is literally the worst thing he could have done. I don't know what his alternatives were, but there must have been a better setup for that.
All right.
At least he has some orcs in front, so it's going to be slightly difficult for Scrappy Doo to run this one in as we get this dramatic camera angle.
You're not coming in. These are the gatekeepers of history, Kirby. Hog Dude Scott. This is the path they take towards becoming the first ever.
I don't think he even goes that way. I think at that point he just goes, okay, I'm going to knock one of you over. Look, I'm going to go
Kirby,
around.
I'm trying to beat your Mac.
It's not going to work.
This is the path that Hog Dude Scott takes to become the first ever NUEL champion. Yes, all one that would be a terrible idea, but it's more dramatic if it's framed by 2 orcs rather than just saying he goes round the outside, round the outside. Work with me here, people! Alright.
What? Is it? Oh, he's going to go for the handoff.
Oh, what generous fellow. Now that's pod racing!
Does that not cause a turnover?
No, if it's caught, it's fine. Dusky did you right. A win without glory is no win at all, and doing the old banana hula hoop, what am I talking about? Boomerang pass. The old boomerang pass that goes down in history. That's one way to get your name in the history books.
Nuffle is definitely saying, we want Scrappy Doo to score this. What are you doing?
Yes.
Give this man the ball back.
Oh boy. Yes, you're right. I think that's what it is. We've got to read the signs here, Kirby. We've got to say, you know, fates have brought us to this moment. It's all down to Scrappy Doo, who is actually 1 score away from being the only level 5 player in the competition.
I know, I'm super invested now. Do it. Do it. Move that ghoul out of the way. Get him a little bit more defensively positioned, maybe. Get Scrappy Doo all the way to the side of the pitch, out of range of the orcs. Next turn, bring him for the touchdown. It'll be on turn 16. It'll work out perfectly. I'm all in on this now.
Okay, so we've got a 1 dice block on the ball carrier without anything needed to be done here, because we've got strength 4 into strength 3 guards, makes it into 1 dice block. It would be the perfect play, but it has left Lustra in a position where they can at least get hold of the ball. It goes, okay, let's trace the path of the ball. It goes boink, 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 and then instantly, whoop. So
amazing sound effects.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's an outside chance that happens. It is very outside, though.
Okay, there we go. I've predicted it. It shall happen.
Unfortunately, the player that needed to be upright for that to happen has now decided he wouldn't play.
No, that's actually better, because now it's going to land here, and he just like, yoink.
He doesn't have the movement lines to go that far up the pitch. He's running away. He's running away.
The ball's going to go here. Players is going to dodge in, grab it, pass it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can do it. He can do it. It can happen. Wait, no, don't get him up. Oh no, that's the only player who could have passed the ball up. Okay, what are we going to do here? It's going to be a hit. It's a 2 dice hit. It's a knockdown onto Scrappy Doo. He was 3 SPP from retirement, and now he's KO'd and will never know the joys of being a level 5 player.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined, and the ball... Wait, no! The Blitz player can move up to the ball right now! What are you doing? No! Oh, wait, no, okay. I'm drastically thinking. What he can... He's going for... It has to be a Hail Mary play now.
Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. Am I on the right colour? No. Bear with me. This is, I think, is the play.
He doesn't have that anymore. Remember, he used to.
Oh no, he blew it. He blew it for no reason.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah! All right. It's gotta be it's gotta be the quad skull. This is the time. This is the place, Kirby. This is the moment. This is when the orc tribes look to the sky and say, hey, look, there's a ball coming from that direction. Oh, wait, never mind. I guess we'll just go have a nap. Alright, let's think about this. So, what's the least nonsensible play we can do?
If you're Lustra or Hogdude?
If you're Lustra, because I'm all in on Lustra now. I believe Lustra's
the problem is that massively depends on how Hogdude plays this turn.
Okay, that player moving up there's interesting.
It's to just gum up the pitch as much as possible at this point. You are trying to make as many awkward rolls as possible for Lustra to make this. Just see exactly what he's going for here. He's going for a player somehow grabs a hold of the ball, hands it off to Soyo, and Soyo just pegs it up the pitch.
Okay, this is what's going to happen next time. Where are you? Oh, I put it to sleep again. How did I do that? I don't even know.
You tell me.
It's a new tool. So hit onto this guy here. The ball scatters up here. This guy gets it. Lands over there, and the Orcs score. It's the perfect Blood Bowl play, and you'll only see it here at the unofficial NUEL broadcast.
Oh, all I'm saying is, if Soyo gets a ball on this 16th turn and he still has his activation, Lustra draws the game. That's the hard part, though. Everything beyond that is clean sailing, but getting the ball to Soyo is a nigh impossible task.
Okay, here we go. Oh wait, no, it's still the under.
Yeah, it's also like Hungry Scott still has like an entire turn worth of punching he can do to try and just stop this. He can just pick up the ball, for crying out loud.
He could pick up the ball, and in a shocking maneuver, he says, I don't want to end the game this way. I want to go to overtime. I'm giving you the ball as a symbol of my respect for you as a player. What a heartwarming story. Students across the UK being brought together with some wonderful sporting play.
I'll be honest, I think that would be the most surprising. Well,
that's a gift.
Wait, the ball is actually pretty exposed right now. Like, aside from, like, that sort of shenanigans from happening, this might be the best chance that Lustra has of bringing this one out. How?
Okay. Draw your thoughts.
You can't make the block with that Black Orc because he's marked by 2 moves we got. That's not happening. It's still in Telestrator mode. Okay. Yes, thank you. Alright, so what I'm thinking is... You just go for it. You go blitz. Hua, hua. Blitz down here, don't step forward. Hua, hua, hua. I think that's...
You can't pass and blitz on the same time.
Can you not? Oh, no. My apologies. I didn't actually know that. You don't blitz then. You just do that, but without the blitz. Hope to God you make that pickup. Unless... Can you clear this for me? I don't know how to. You do this...
Oh, wait, blitz. He's going for it!
He just...
No!
He doesn't have a reroll.
Oh!
And thus the dreams of the war. Like, can you just zoom in on that orc for me?
Always. Well, maybe.
Just.
Oh no! The game's over.
He just. He knows he's won the game. You don't even get the dramatic zoom in. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, but the writing was written on the wall for Westbury War. Congratulations to Mr. Ink for winning the inaugural season of the NUEL's Blood Bowl. As they receive the trophy, which is in fact just a bit of yellow text drawn on his team sheet at the end.
It's stuck on with a bit of tape.
Nice.
The NUEL Cup.
You don't have space for the... Okay, no space for the L.
With its eternal flame representing the students across the UK being brought together. So if any of you guys do know any student Blood Bowl players, please do point them to discord.gg/theNUEL, where they can meet up with all of the players you've been seeing on the NUEL's tournament. Hopefully these guys will stick around. I know there's a lot of our players who come from the Rebel Blood Bowl League, which we very much do appreciate you guys, who've also been mentoring some of our newer coaches as well. So lots of love for all of those guys. Masterful, who was of course our #1 seed coming in, does send their well wishes as well to our now champion Hogdude Scott. Came from 8th seed, had to fight through JSPS Monkey to even get into the playoffs. So the only team who was low down enough had to do that. They beat the #1 seed in their first match, and they've gone on to win the whole damn show. Congratulations, Hogdude. I think that's a well-deserved pog.
Congratulations once again. You could see the way he was playing from a field. He knew exactly what he was doing. He managed to turn an early touchdown into a dominating lead, and from there he was just able to hold it despite some potentially greedy play towards the back end of that half as Scooby-Doo receives a hat for his troubles.
That's right, Scooby-Doo. The twist was that the monster was actually Abe Lincoln all along. Oh boy, and in that game, you look at the stats we've got there, and they are not huge. There's not a huge amount of touchdowns. There's one pass in there. I don't even remember that pass happening.
I'm trying to think as well. Oh, it was part of the magical, mystical Soyo is trying to salvage this gameplay.
Alright, let's look at some stats. We'll put the NUEL Cup away for now. Man, look at that ball possession stats there. 12% for the West Street War. Jeez.
Yeah, because they gave it up on the first drive. They weren't able to really... they only had the ball for the first bit of the second half where they were able to finally score that touchdown. For the rest of it was just Mr. Ink going, yep, we have the ball, we're scoring touchdowns, we're desperate trying to score in the back end of the second half, but not able to pull that one out. They just were shut out of the game completely. And I will say, when they had the ball, they looked fantastic. The problem is 12% ball possession.
Oh boy, and you think right, it was missing out on that, on their ghoul killer player, Keller, for the important parts of the game where they really, really needed to have someone who could deal with the blood players. SPP? Yes. So there hasn't really been discussion as of yet of a second NUEL's season, but given the amount of time and effort the players have put in, I think we'll have to figure out some sort of way to allow these teams to stick around in some capacity. Yeah, the early blitz, I think, pretty much set the tone for the game.
Absolutely. Like as soon as Keller goes down, the Walu's some of the most powerful unit that's able to actually deal with the ghoul pressure that the Mr. Ink were trying to exert. And as soon as that goes down, it just goes completely out of the window for the Wa.
So let's look at some of the numbers here. Let's see. Was Losra robbed? Their D6 suggests they had a preponderance of 2s. I don't quite know how this actually interacts with things like block dice and things, but that's probably not a good thing.
Depends how many 2s you need to roll. If you're trying to roll some 2s and 2+, that's fine.
If you're an elf team, sure. But if you're not an elf team... Oh, boy. Okay, so we look... Oh, man. So Mystery Inc., their highest rolled number was 6.
Well...
their highest rolled number was 2. Make of that what you will.
Nuffle had chosen a winner from the get-go, and it was stuck through to the end.
Let's see. So Mystery Inc. went for going for it 7 times and failed none of them. But they did fail 4 catch rolls, which I think was probably from bouncing balls.
Yeah, I think so as well. They had some position where they had players underneath balls that they couldn't get a hold of. There was that instance with Scrappy Doo at the end where he tried to make a handoff and just got the ball straight back in his hand. And I will say, I do feel, Rob, that he will remain level 4 indefinitely until either the second season does happen or he is retired. It is a shame.
Let's see. This is really not worth looking through all the other stuff. Let's see, anything else that jumps out here? Going for it were pretty good for... I can't believe these are in different orders from each other.
It's because it's by... What order is that?
No, it's not by percentage.
They just picked a random order, I think.
It looks that way, certainly. I'm trying to see if there's any... So the fireball... The fireball was cast on them, so... I don't know. Colzilli, right. It was pure skill. There was no luck involved. No dice were even rolled in this game. But Losra, Hogdu, thank you for giving us a wonderful way to end the season. As Kevin was saying, I'm glad it wasn't decided ultimately by a penalty shootout, because that would have been pretty terrible.
Yeah, at least it was a fun game. There was some shenanigans happening.
Yes. Alright, guys. So, I think for the time being, the NUEL's Blood Bowl competition will be going into some kind of hibernations. But if you are a Blood Bowl player and you are a student, or if indeed you know a student who might even potentially be interested in Blood Bowl, again, do check out discord.gg/theNUEL. Anyone can go in and join there, put themselves in as a Blood Bowl player, and you'll have access to a chat room where you can talk to all of these players here. And if any of your friends want to get taught by them or play with them, or indeed you do as well, you can absolutely come and do that. My name is Being Counterfeit, joined by Kirby. This is the end of the NUEL's inaugural Blood Bowl season. Congratulations once more to Mystery Inc. and Hogdude Scott for becoming our first ever champion. Hope it feels pretty good. Kirby, I'm kind of curious what Hogdude Scott's going to do after this. What do you think's the most likely thing for an undead coach after a tremendous victory?
Go to the casino and blow all of his winnings in the most dramatic way possible.
Excellent! Hoganator, thank you for dropping by, and yeah, we've enjoyed our time with you guys very much. We'll hopefully get to do it again a little bit later down the line. But for now, thank you all, and good night.